with the animals. So when we in our cosmic court situation with them, go back and forth, basically the elders came to the agreement like, listen, okay, well, Satan, Zeus, you just leave Kai and that way you can go create your own planet and go do your own thing. And then all the gods and goddesses that we sent y'all down to Kai, y'all keep building Kai up. That way everybody happy. Or so we thought. So everybody like, okay, cool. We beam back down here to planet Kai. We good. You know, we back on our duty. This nigga got to pack up his shit and leave. He should be good too. So everybody cool. He don't want to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, he basically don't want to leave. It's like, okay, they told you to leave. You still trying to act like you got to pack and you got to double back and get t-shirts and shit. Get your bitch ass off the planet. Like, that's the energy we was on. So, you know, he ain't on that energy. And long story short, it turns into like another argument where you got to go. They told you had to go. He ain't trying to hear shit. We get to fighting. So when we get to fighting, I'm breaking it down in layman's terms so everybody can grab. Because I can use a bunch of big words and motherfuckers will be lost out there. Now, I want everybody to understand like it was a family feud. We get to beating his ass, stumping all type of teeth out of him, you feel me? And other gods and goddesses that was there jumped in the fight. It's literally because you remember, we all won anyway. So even though we felt the way about Zeus and what he was doing, like any community, God, if we all live in a community, I could be doing the most foul shit, but I'm gonna still have that group of people that's gonna fuck with me. That's gonna be like, nah, y'all ain't finna jump on him though. Right? Same thing with Zeus. He the head scientist, so you know he got all the cloud as they call it today. He super clouded in the cosmos, so you know how that was. There was people that was like, okay, well, this Zeus, you know, this their favorite type shit. We're gonna ride with him. That's how he was so able to get so many to turn against the gods. You got to think about that. If they told you even in religion, he took a third with him. You have to think about that. Like, hold on. What type of power he had that he was able to get motherfuckers to go against God? Right? Because if you don't know this cosmic history, you'll know the religious version. So in the religion version, Jesus is basically God. And basically, goddamn it, they say Satan went against him. He didn't want to bow down to him. He took a third. So you gotta really sit like, hold on. He gotta have some type of clout and power for motherfuckers to go against the creator for him. That's because he made people feel like he was the creator. Remember, the goddesses designed, they chose the gods to create everything. So if he the head scientist, that's how he looked at among certain people or certain gods and goddesses, even though he wasn't the divine elder, you still got people that was like, okay, we know the elders made him, but shit, he the one that it was his idea to do all this and everything else. So he was able to get so many to turn against us, the essence, which is the Ananuki, the Anunnaki, what we stood for, which is peace, positive energy, I was create elevation, unity. We pray to ourselves. We about nature. We with nature. Satan, Zeus is against nature. So he did unnatural things. And he like, you know what? I'm going to go against nature. I don't want to pray to myself no more. I want somebody to pray to me. That's what made him create the human being race. He literally created the human beings race so that they can praise his ass. Facts. Because he began to get into himself. This is where that jealousy energy came from and pride, right?
But Rashad, they end up hating people that look like him, though.
Yeah, exactly. You feel me? Yeah. So it's like once that happened, now you got this whole war that broke out right here on this planet. It happened. Yeah. That war in heaven happened right here on this planet. And when that happened, it was a war, a true cosmic war. And what happened was they ended up getting their ass whipped off the planet. So when they telling you like, he was cast out, he wasn't cast out of shit. We whipped his ass. You know what I'm saying? All him and everybody that rode with him, all the way to a whole nother universe. Like that's how they end up in the 6th universe. And that's when he created a planet called Nern. And on Nern, he finished doing his experiment, which is to create the human being race. On Nern, that's when he used the dog, he used the wolf, the lemur, the pig, and the snub-nosed monkey to create the human being race in one drop of our blood. That's what he used.
Where are you? So he created the human being on planet Nern. Where most of the people watching want to know, where are you getting this information? Because a lot of us have not heard of this level of information before. Right. We've heard of metaphysical things like this, but a lot of things you are dropping, we have not heard of this before. So where are you getting the bulk of your information? Is it channeled? Is it books? Is it teachers?
every time I come in front of these cameras on the social media platform, I'm always channeling. Like I channel my information. So I channel this information from within. I bring this information down to this planet from the plasma energy realms, and I bring it down to the physical realm, and I release it because I've led over 10,000 ancestors within my vessel. So that's just like when you see me standing right here. This is like just a physical replication of some of my spiritual protection and my ancestors that are with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't just have this here in this candle burning for no reason. But we have been lied to about magic. So we don't understand that. But a person that understands magic, and if they understand a little bit of that, then they'll understand what's going on right now, or why we got this frequency bulb. Why I hit it a certain amount of times. I hit it 9 times to be exact, but nobody probably counted that. I'm using a certain color, but nobody's probably paying attention to that. I'm using certain things. I have on certain crystals. I have on a certain number of crystals, but nobody's probably paying attention to that. I have a certain set, a certain color on this wrist that's completely different from this wrist, but nobody's paying attention to that. So it's metaphysical, you know. It's me connecting to self. It's me connecting to the essence of source. And what I always tell people is like, don't even worry about where I'm getting it from. Get the message and see if it resonates with your soul. If it don't resonate with your soul, then don't listen to it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it just because I'm saying it. You know what I'm saying? But I like for people to. We've heard so many different perspectives, right? We've heard, and like I always say, we don't even know nothing about the shit they taught us about what they told us, and we don't even think. I wish we was that more critical, God, of what these white crackers told us. You see what I'm saying? Like when they sit there and told us like Jesus walked on water, I ain't never seen one black person say, but I ain't never seen a nigga walk on water. Because you never seen that. When they told us Jesus fed 5,000 with 2 loaves of bread, niggas never questioned like, so he fed 5,000 motherfuckers with 2 loaves of bread. But if I stay here and be like, hey, you know, but yeah, so they were created on a planet called Nern. A person to be in the audience, like, he's a fraud. He's lying. And I'm like, well, what if I said is more crazy than what they told you in religion? You see, because Daniel was in the lion den all night. And when they rolled the rock back, he was still there. Niggas the lion bite him, growl at him or nothing. You feel me? Got lion, they snarl at him or nothing. So it's like, you know, it's like that's why it's called like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Like what I'm saying, a person shouldn't hear from everybody else. Because then I'm not a true divinely sent teacher. I should say some things to make you be like, what the fuck he just said? If I'm not saying that, then why am I in front of you right now?
Bobby Hemmett made me feel like that when I first heard him. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck is he talking about? I'm like,
you gotta feel like that. That's how you know it's some real, it's a download. You supposed like, what the fuck? Because it's the rabbit hole. So I mean, for how far you go down the rabbit hole, at certain points going down that hole, you're gonna run across some shards, some glass, and rub an elbow and cut your elbow. Oh shit, whoa, something just fucked me up. They got something just bit shit out of me. They got mosquitoes down here. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, that's that moment where you feel like I got this life thing figured out, and then you hear something else and it take you deeper. You be like, okay. It's really another level of information, and it really is. Like I say, I couldn't flow through it like that. And those is in my university, is on my channel. They know they didn't heard this a million times, or they watch me. They be know that like God don't never have. I don't really have no laptops in front of me. Just like when I talked about the Bermuda Triangle, I channeled that information down from the plasma energy realms, the quantum energy realms. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what did you say about the Bermuda Triangle? What did
I
you
basically
say,
just was telling them why planes and everything go missing, and that it's pyramids under the Bermuda Triangle and this and that. And I had never heard that before or anything, God, no lie. And like a month later, like some people, like some of the guys tagged me in a post. They was like, God, I think they was watching your lecture. And CNN was like, scientists have now discovered it's a pyramid under the Bermuda Triangle. And I'm like, look at them. Y'all ain't never said it all these years. Y'all been saying shit. We don't know why. We don't know what the hell going on. All we know is boats and planes go through there and they don't come back. I'm just supposed to be a crazy YouTuber. So when I put the lecture up, it should just be a crazy YouTube lecture. It shouldn't turn into 2-3 months later. Now scientists have discovered, because they do that shit with a lot of lectures that I've been putting out. They do that. They'll come out and be like, oh, we just discovered that. We just discovered that. And I'll be like, ain't no way y'all ain't watching this information. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way y'all ain't, because y'all should have been said that all these years. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like with information, like yeah, like this is our cosmic history, and see, I like to emphasize cosmic though, God, because most of the information that we received on this planet was like primitive. I'm talking about this is shit post Adamite. Like when they get to talk about time and space and dinosaurs and all that shit, that's post Adamite. So I'm not the person to give you no motherfucking leaf of no information. You got that? It's a whole tree, God. You feel me? It's a whole tree for those that don't know where the information come from. It's a whole tree of information. But when you listen to Rashad Jamal, right? It's the University of Cosmic Intelligence. So I'm down here in the soil. I'm giving you the seeds of where this shit started from. I'm not just giving you the leaf, because that leaf is connected to a branch. And that branch is connected to another branch, which is connected to the roots, and the roots is connected to the ground, which is connected to the seed. The seeds is sprouted from. So I like to go to the beginning and work my way from the beginning back. So for a lot of individuals, you got to go listen to other people before you even come and hear this shit I'm talking about, because you will have no clue. It's not like this ain't some shit you just come in on and you just get on your journey neither. Like you got to already be at a certain level of your journey to understand what we discussing right now and that level, because if not, you just completely closed off. You're like, Nern, planet Nern, what did he say? Two suns. What did he just say? Zeus and Satan, the same people. It was war. They whipped their ass another universe. Like that have a person like lost. But I'm not here to help you find yourself. I'm here to enlighten and inform. And I'm here to give the information that the planet is ready for right now. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm here to do. And that's why a lot of people, like, I get like a lot of my name get caught up in a lot of controversy, because it really be like people will just be upset, or they'll get jealous. You know, people that's trying to teach, they'll get jealous and be like, how the fuck does he know that too? And then they'll, you know, talk bad about me, or they'll go to attack me, and I'll defend myself for somebody to chop the video up and post it and have me looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's cool. I like looking crazy.
What do you think about, you know, you mentioned multiverse several times tonight. What's your thoughts on this new Doctor Strange movie coming out, Multiverse of Madness? What's your thoughts on that, my brother?
I didn't even know they was coming out with a movie on it. I mean, I don't watch TV like that at all. But if they call it multiverse anything, once again, they stole it from us. You know, like I was said about Nern. You know, like Zeus created the human beings on planet Nern. That's in the 6th universe. You know, and he also on that planet, he created werewolves. Werewolves are real. He created the ogres. Like Shrek is an ogre. Those are real beings. It's on Nern. You know what I'm saying? He created the human beings. That's why the human beings like the war. You know, so if they coming out with a movie called Multiverse, they're only coming out with these movies and these titles based upon the same thing we sitting here discussing right now.
Well, when you see Doctor Strange, he be hitting you with the
moves.
The moves. Why does that make sense? Why is that an effective tool in terms of our spirituality, since you deal with a lot of energy work? Why is that so effective? The mudras.
Yeah, I mean, I make that public. I'm a practitioner of all forms of all the arts. Ancient voodoo, hoodoo, all forms of the arts are ancient arts. But yeah, mudras are powerful. You know, each finger on you connects to an element. You know, but so like I said, I gave lectures on this already on my website. Your index finger literally lines up. You have 5 fingers. It's 5 major elements. You know what I'm saying? You don't just have the number 5 for a reason, for no reason. 5 is the number of magic. Anytime you want to use doing magic, you have to use the number 5. That's why they use 5 a lot. You know, that's why they say give you a high 5. You know, that's why you shouldn't let nobody touch you. You know, because at the end of the day, your index finger controls the first element ever created, which is water. Your middle finger controls the second element ever created, which is fire. Your third index finger controls the third element ever created, which was earth or soil or plant cotton. And your fourth, which your pinky controls the element of air. And your thumb controls plasma energy. So this is what mudras is, a line of elements. So if you're doing this mudra, that's water and plasma energy. And your thoughts, whatever your thoughts is centered with, you're going to be able to tap into that. You know, so it's like, and it go even deeper than that, you know. So when you see Doctor Strange doing certain mudras and to open up certain portals, that's a real thing. You got to remember, Ashe is potential, is life force, and it's all around you. Ashe, prana, chi, same thing. Just just different names. So it's potential energy. It's all around you. This is how they created the light bulb, right? It's energy. It's all around you. Just like right now, you don't feel it, but if you feel it, right? Your hands start getting warm. That's all that ashe around you. That's the force. So with Star Wars, that was metaphysical. May the force be with you. When Yoda used to say that, you know, like when he was teaching Luke how to, you know, it's called a Jedi Knight, Jedi mind tricks. That's a real thing. That's like a real where we at. We are cosmic forces. We are like when Yoda told Luke, luminous beings we are. That's what we are. You know what I'm saying? Yoda represents the Moors. You know, Luke represents the human being because the Moors was the ones to help the human beings because the Moors was the ones that was assigned to watch over the human beings. When they came out the caves of Europe, when they came out the Caucasus Mountains, they was walking on all fours. We taught them how to stand up right. We started teaching them how to speak. We took the wooden boards and stood the white women up straight. That's why they had the flat asses to this day. And so they started doing the ass shots and the little working out. Like, you know, like all we did all that. And the reason they was able to conquer us is because the Moors was started having sex with the white women. They started having sex with them. So in the Bible, when they get to talk about we sent the watchers to watch over them, they talk about us. And we talking about how we sent the fucking Moors to watch over them because we was reverse engineering what Zeus had did to them. Because when they came out the Caucasus Mountains, they was walking on all fours, tails and shit, hairy, looking like Harry and the Hendersons. So we having open big hearts and big souls. We always been 11 species. We remember what Zeus was trying to do. So when the Pleiadians told us who they were, we like, oh, so he finally created them. Because remember, he was trying to create them here first. Remember? Right. So as we seen that, we're like, oh, okay, cool. And we seen they looked like us still. We like, oh, he made them in our image. So when in the Bible, like God made man in his image, they talking about Zeus making mankind in his image, like us, the real Allah, arm, leg, head. Right, the Muslims call Allah God. Right, arm, leg, arm, head. That's the form of God in physical manifestation, which is us. You get what I'm saying, God? So at the end of the day, all that was taking place, and when they was in the caves and we started to reverse engineer them, this is why, like to this day, 1/4 of human beings still grow their tails. If you Google human beings growing tails, they're going to tell you 1/4 of human beings still grow their tails. You will never see a black or Latino person grow a motherfucking tail a day in your life. We are two different species. So, you know what I'm saying? They human beings, we gods. I'm not saying we gods to call ourselves the most high. We are the most motherfucking high. So, people just got to wake up and realize that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fake God ever did shit for you. You can get on your knees right now and pray to Jesus, Yahweh, motherfucking Bin Laden, Buddha, whoever the fuck you want to pray to. You could have never sucked the dick, smoked the blunt, cursed the motherfucker out, cut the lights off, stand in the middle of your living room and pray and make your salats. You can make them 5 times a day. You can make them 10 times a day. You can motherfucking pay all the tithes you want. I guarantee you the light in your living room ain't gonna come the fuck on till you get your ass up and go cut it on. So you God the whole time. People just don't want to accept their reality, that you control your reality. Anything bad happen to you is because you emitted that frequency. You're the creator. You're the judge of your days. That's the true judgment day. Ain't no motherfucking no fake white God and no big ass tall rocking chair waiting for you to walk up one day like, yeah, we're gonna judge everybody. You judge your days every day with the seeds you plant. King, God, goddess, you know what I'm saying? So they don't want you to know that. They want you to wait on the heaven after here so that you don't be creating your shit now. So at the end of the day, like, these oppressors was able to trick these black gods, which was the Moors, into the enchantment. So when they was watching and they started having sex with these white women after we started doing the reverse engineering and they started pillow talking, they started teaching them our enchantments, our spells, and that's what fucked us up. Once they taught us our enchantments, they taught them the enchantments and the spells and all our magic, they took that and they taught them the access codes to our Merkaba. Because you have a Merkaba around you, which is the 6-point star and where it comes from. That's all a part of sacred geometry. But you also have a galactic Merkaba that we were using. And we had 2 suns. And they used that Merkaba to blow one of our suns out of the atmosphere. They couldn't blow it up, but it just pushed it out the atmosphere. So it left us with 1 sun. And that ushered in nightfall because we had 2 suns orbiting at all times. So I'm saying? Yo, it was never no moon in the sky.
You know what's crazy, Rashad? Pillow talking if you watch Narcos and a lot of the gangster movies, it's how a lot of the dudes fuck up. The
Yeah.
gangsters. They get with these women and they start pillow talking. Next thing the woman tell the other people what they just told them. Next thing you know, boom, it's over for them.
Exactly. And God, that's why. See, I like to break it down in layman's terms so people can really feel it, God. Like like I say, I believe in. It's like a nest. Information, once the information is, you receive this information, you got to spread it to everybody in the nest. Everybody in the nest ain't going to understand if I get to saying parthenogenesis, right? Like, what the fuck is that? I got to break down what parthenogenesis means, which is the ability for a species to reproduce without a male counterpart, which is where the lizards get this ability to do that from the goddess. Even to this day, a goddess can make a baby without us. But they don't want you knowing that, or me knowing that, right? Because now they got to explain too much other cosmic shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's really was pillow talking. Like, in layman's terms, they weren't supposed to be having sex with him in the first place. They got to fall in love with him, liking him, just like they told him told out in the Bible. Liking him, falling in love with him. Next thing you know, now motherfuckers telling secrets. Motherfuckers, oh yeah, you know, if you want to get here, you hit that path, you know, you go do that kind of type shit. You know, nah, for real, God. Also,
You said,
you feel me? And that shit spun us literally into like 550 years of oppression, nigga. Motherfuckers pillow talking. Because they took all our shit, and them white women ran right back to them white man in the cave. Look, this is how you do this shit. And they took the shit, gave it to the Pleiadians, and they went right to work. They blew the sun out the sky. They motherfucker, once they figured out our
what sun they blew out the sky? I'm sorry. What sun they blew out the sky?
Okay, so we had two suns. The sun you see now, that's the smaller sun we had. We had one that was way bigger than that. You feel me? And that was the main sun that was responsible for keeping the energy high at the point for us to do certain things we was doing. Like moving at speeds that nobody would believe right now, being able to fly, being able to just do all type of, access all type of abilities that's in us, being luminous that we couldn't do. Like I say, we didn't have oxygen. Now they spray oxygen. They oxygen into the atmosphere in Margellans. We breathe that oxygen and it rusts us out. So now we appear these copper complexions. But without that oxygen, we would be breathing hydrogen, and then we would be blue, green, red. We would be other colors.
Like Avatar.
Like Avatar. Avatar was strictly about us and how the planet looked. Look at how their hair was. Look at how they had their crystals on. You got to look at what they had on. You know what I'm saying? That they was mocking us a little bit. But it's like when they attacked after they pushed that sun out the sky, that caused us to, we was on the 33rd dimension when they came here. That caused us to drop all the way to like the 18th. So it was an immediate like reaction. A lot of your air dragons, they like went through reverse metamorphosis and they became birds that you see flying in the sky today.
Oh shit.
A lot of we had dragons back then, which they still fly around, but a lot of them became your modern day birds, eagles and hawks and shit. You know, we had land dragons and sea dragons, and they became your sharks and shit today that you see.
And snakes.
Snakes in you, So everything changed when they moved that second our biggest sun out. That's what caused us to fall too, like shrink so quick. Like it was like if you watch a cartoon and how it'd be like a magic screen or go.
Oh, that's how it was like. Right.
That's literally what it was like. And see, people, that's hard. Man. That's a hard concept for people to grasp. But they not realizing that magic. Let's talk about magic, right? What does magic come from? Magic comes from the fact that this realm is magnetic, right? You have a soul and a spirit. What is the spirit? Electricity. What is the soul? Magnetism. All right. So your soul is a magnet, and your spirit is electricity. All right. This is why we have the ability to attract things to us, because we are magnets. Magic. Mag is the root word. Mag. So magic is just the science of understanding how to use your magnetism and electricity to manipulate other electricity and things around you, because everything has an electrical output to it, from the plants to the air to the elements to the animals. So if you can get in tune with your electricity and your magnetism, now you have enough control of your etheric bodies and your aura field, and now you can manipulate certain energies and do all type of things. So that's what magic comes from, right? So this is why they needed our enchantments and our spells to do what they did because it wasn't just pushing the sun away. It was a multi-unit attack on us. They also understood through the pillow talking how connected we were to the trees. The trees emit some of the most powerful sources of electricity, solar electricity, directly from the cosmos into our planet. That's what trees do. They tell you trees pump out oxygen. That's a fucking lie. Trees never pumped out oxygen because we never had oxygen on the planet till they bitch ass got here. Right? And start spraying. And when you look in the sky every day, you see them planes spraying, they're spraying oxygen and Margellans. Right? So Margellans is the nanobiotic that you breathe in that sticks to you, but it's robotoid. So it sticks to your cells and it allows you to be controlled almost in like a clone format and manipulated via electronical output. You know what I'm saying? From like a source. That's what Margellans do. And the oxygen is there to rush you out and it causes you to age. So when they come with the time spell, you believe in it because you seeing yourself age, but you're not aging from time. You aging from the oxygen. So your body's rusting out. You begin to get wrinkled and more wrinkled as you more and more time you spend here. You know what I'm saying? So even the time spell, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, but they can't tell you the 8th motherfucking day. And you counting this every year is magic. It's light magic. See, we have dark magic. They have light magic. They have used light magic to put us under spells. They are using spells in every major city that is full of violence, like my hometown, Chicago. Spells on the land, right? To emit these frequencies, emit these energies. We were just talking about this yesterday. My cousin came over. We was talking about how you can drive from Brookhaven on the north side of Atlanta, and you will feel one energy and drive. By the time you get to the west side of Atlanta or the south side of Atlanta, you're going to feel a totally different frequency in the motherfucking air. And that's in any city, right? Why is that? They are literally, it's an output. It's an output of energy that they putting out there, just like when a dog whistle you, and the dog go crazy. This is what they do to make us feel tired or feel drained. The 5G towers and all of that. This is what all that's about. But that's all magic. That's all magic. They only know that because they were studying us from the pillow talking. So the ancient trees putting out this electrical output. If you look at your heartbeat, it's shaped just like the tree in its roots. You got your heart, and look at the veins in your heart. Now go look at a tree. It's like an upside down tree, right? So the tree, all the energy on the planet is in the roots and the trees in the soil in the actual land. So that's what the trees did for us. When they got the cut, that's why they had to cut the trees down, because that cut our electricity down. So now we wasn't able to access certain abilities that we was using, like the gamma radiation, the photon energy, the advanced levels of lightning, or what they would call like lightning bending, shit you'll see on anime. Like these are abilities that you have in your genetics. But when they didn't cut your trees down, and they that's like a shortage. You are electricity. Remember, it's 666 electrons, protons, neutrons. You are electricity. So everything around us was set up anciently to amplify that electricity. So what they had to do as they began to take our planet over was the first thing, make us defenseless. They had to cut the Wi-Fi off. So they cut the trees down, pushed the sun out the atmosphere, usher in the cold into the atmosphere, which was a weapon against us.
So, so where's that sun now? Where's that sun now that they pushed out the atmosphere?
Oh, so the sun that they pushed out the atmosphere is still orbiting in what they would like to call in between universes. So it's still in orbit in between universes. As this energy rides on this planet, it's being pulled back. So they were speaking about it years back. They were trying to call it Planet X and all that little goofy shit. And then they stopped talking about it. And then they started talking about another planet called Nibiru, because Nibiru is a planet and a sun and a spaceship in one too. Yes, it is. That's the truth about Nibiru. However, that's not the main sun that was on this planet. That sun is coming back into the atmosphere as well. That's why the planet is heating up as well, because that's being pushed back into the atmosphere, that second sun. And then it's also like, because you see Nibiru is in orbit, it's been video servicing where people might show two suns, but that's not the second sun, that our ancient second sun. What people are seeing when they see the two suns, that's planet Nibiru, because that's a spaceship, you know what I'm saying, and a sun and a planet.
And what about in terms of like when you mentioned earlier about the phases of matter and the 4 phases of matter, when we leave here, our ancestors, what phase of matter do they go to?
So you have 2 ancestors. You have physical ancestors and you have your cosmic ancestors.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so your physical ancestors are would be any soul and spirit that embody a lifetime on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So when you descended down into this realm and you entered this through the portal of what will be your mother's womb,
Mm-hmm.
your family that you would consider your blood family here would just be that's your physical. That would be you have physical ancestry through your mom and your dad here.
Mm-hmm.
But we are multidimensional, so you have a many moms and dads because you exist everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know you heard about parallel universes, right?
Indeed.
Okay, that's true. You are everywhere because you are everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a life in a body on every planet, in every universe, in every galaxy.
Mm.
Okay, when you go to sleep at night, that's the reason you go to sleep because you go to visit those other bodies and those other lifetimes and those other realities. They can't stop you from cosmically traveling, so they had to lie and tell you that you dream every night. So that when you come back, it's just a dream. So you got to understand that this cosmic form of traveling that we go through connects back to the question you was just asking. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, do you really get what I'm saying, God? I want to make sure that that y'all getting what I'm saying right now, not just because you, like I say, when we dealing with this is an advanced level of you can't even think. We talking like this, you gotta feel it, right?
Indeed. Okay.
You
Indeed.
gotta feel it because
Yeah.
when you're trying to think, you're through social engineering, we have been brainwashed. So we will try to, bring logic to anything, right? And maybe me and you spoke about this. Who created logic? Let Google do me a favor and Google who created the idea of logic, God.
Let me Google
I
that
know
right
who
now.
was. Yeah, I want you to Google it for everybody in the class today in the university. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to your university too, God.
Yeah, hold up. Before we answer that question, since we got 2,500 people in the building right now, I want to give a shout out to this brother once again. I want to thank him for coming on. One thing, since I was young, my brother, real young, 5 years old, I've always had reoccurring dreams of cosmic war. Always.
Right.
By the time I reached about, I don't know, probably what? Once I got, 10, 11, you start getting interested in girls. You forget about everything. Basketball.
Right.
I left basketball alone. I left everything alone then.
Right.
But in my adolescence, but before my adolescence, when you're just a kid, I always had reoccur. I mean, dream after dream after dream after dream of just cosmic war. So when I hear brothers like yourself, Delbert Blair, and others, I don't know to what extent y'all are on point with everything, but I do know that there's truth to what you are teaching. Because, there's no reason why I should have had those dreams. I'm talking about for years on end, where I just wake up and I'm like, well, damn, ain't nobody going. My mom was she was a Christian, but she was in the Farrakhan. But at that time, I thought she wouldn't understand. So I'm like, no need. I'm seeing all types of shit in the sky, and I'm just like, I'm just keeping it within. Right. So when I hear brothers like yourself, I know this shit ain't just all far-fetched. So before we continue, I just want to thank you once again for having and I see the trolls in the chat. I see y'all and in the chat or whatever. But there's such a high level of information that's hidden from us, family. We might have a heart attack if we really found out who we are. If we find out who we are, we might just have a heart attack and pass out and die. Because we be like, oh shit, what the it would just shock and amaze us about everything that's been hidden from us. So I'm interested, my brother. Thank you. I don't know what was the last question. I think I asked about where the ancestors go. Did you finish elaborating on that?
No, I ain't finished.
Okay, yeah. So you can finish elaborating because you talk about the phases of matter, and you talked about the different ancestors. So go ahead, my brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you good, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as when you a lot of times when you're thinking about somebody, or say somebody's thinking about me or staring at me,
I automatically turn around and spot them right away. So I catch them staring at me. So it's like before something in me realized that they were staring at me. Like they
get it, man.
Like they was hitting me with some type of like beam or some shit.
Right.
And
and literally feel the eyes are a two-way street.
Yeah.
You always think the eyes are receiving, but then you heard there's something called the evil eye that you can give off. But I'm sure there's books that you could, but I knew I found it. But yes, that's exactly it. You could pick up on the energy through the eyes. You know what I'm saying? So now he's showing you just yet another way to energize the eyes to send a message through. This book is fucking bad, yo. I'm telling you, it's fucking bad. He shows your ass, and if you could get anything by Frank Rudolph Young, that's the author. There's some of his work floating around. It's all old shit. It's all about psychic powers, visualization, and how to strengthen yourself. You will become a one-man army out of this shit. And then if you also add the astral traveling, forget about it. That's the receiving end. Once you keep fucking with that, it's exercise. Don't give up. Don't think it's about success. I was at Rich's house. Keep trying. People give up. They don't have faith in themselves. And then there's this little voice calling Rich that says, God is outside of you. It ain't in you, son. And then, and that voice is in you because you grew up in the church and that's all they told you. You didn't go through any rigorous training to unwind that shit. All you went was with new information and said, oh, Oshun. Well, I guess she's God. And she's outside me. So I got to ask Oshun to give me something. Oh, I was doing this for Oshun to give me. Oh, Oshun. Oshun allowed me to braid her hair in a dream. How many times have you heard that shit?
Yeah.
I'm like, that bitch hair that nappy? Yeah, I was saying shit like, I had twosomes with Yim and Ya and Oshun. All that shit is real. Oh! And I'm sitting there like, they're not people. And your mom's had sex. If you, what the first, know what the trick was? And what Bobby did was the first trick was trying to show you that you're peer to peer with them. Yo, I talk to the gods and I curse them out and I argue with them. He's trying to psychologically show you that you're peer to peer with them. But he's telling you as their personalities outside because in his, that's all niggas knew. So I was fortunate coming after Bobby to be able to speak more on their inside of your ass, their energy signatures, their aspects of your mind, their formulas for you to fuck with through your altar, through candle magic, through crystals, through breathing techniques, through meditation, through altars, through astral traveling, through chakra work, through goddamn everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing is a way to access. Access. You get what I'm saying? And there's nothing that escapes it. And this, to be a little bit arrogant, is the last hope. Ain't none of, let's be real. Let's be real. And I'll do you one better. Let me just save y'all some time so I don't sound egotistical or arrogant. Bobby Hemmett used to say to me, a cult will be the last man standing. Because everything comes out of it. And I know people don't want to hear that shit. They feel what they got is what they got. But everything, if you're going to be healthy, you only should be you're healthy to do what? Study yourself. If you're going to be metaphysical, metaphysics is more of a description of the beyond, but not how to get in and do hands-on. So you talk about fractals, you talk about the Fibonacci code and the perfection of the numbers, but how do you access that shit? How do you get into that shit? There's my boy Casanova Rudd. I want to give his Instagram if that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's CASANOVARUD. He was with, remember Super Lover C and Casanova Rudd? Rudd turned out to be conscious. He was the DJ. And Rudd, like night and day, something turned on. And this nigga, you ever see on in movies, that nigga 5 + 5 minus 7 equals 2 + 5. He went crazy with numbers. He knew all this math shit. Mathematicians is fucking with this nigga. He's like, I don't know how it happened. He didn't know shit about none of this shit. He draws these fucking patterns. Go to his Instagram, Casanova Rudd, CASANOVARUD. And then that nigga was called himself Nova. I said, damn, your God name was in that name. As much dumb shit we did in the 80s. Because we all was kind of collective together doing that. Do the James. You remember that old New York shit. And so he was my nigga. So it's just good to see him conscious. But this nigga, something happened. He went crazy with numbers. Go see his shit. You won't believe what he's drawing. This nigga will draw patterns and find shit in the Last Supper. Like famous pictures. This nigga, you gotta see this shit.
Casanova Rudd.
Casanova Rudd.
I'm checking that out.
Yeah, when people are seeing he's saying the line is already around the corner, he has to figure something out. When I mentioned it before, because when people see his work, and you could scry into his work, and he'll take your ass there. I think he's going to start doing personal ones. He's still setting up shop, but go see his work. Now, what was we saying before that? But yeah, so I guess psychomancy, I guess I was saying The Secret of Psychic Power Control by Frank Rudolph Young. Like I said, nowadays most people are savvy enough to get PDFs. So I barely say I got it and I sell it. I do if you're too lazy or you just want to support. I appreciate that too. I send it to you as a PDF, so it's immediate. And
Message.
Let me put this phone on the other side. I send it to you as a PDF and it's immediate, but I'm not sweating it. If you feel like you should have it for free and you know how to hunt, happy hunting. I'm glad you should get it. But I think it's a very pivotal book. You know what I'm saying? Along with that astral traveling book. That'll put your niggas in the game.
Put you straight in the game.
Yes.
All right. Let's get to one last question, family. Once again, I want to thank all of you for staying with us. I gotta watch this one again. I think this is a good way to end it. Let me put this on the screen.
Okay.
Love the Universe wants to know, how do we make this lifetime our last experience on Earth, Panic?
It's all in your head. Think about this question for a second, Rich. How do we make this our last experience on Earth? Yet again, another backwards question saying you're not God. People don't believe it, Rich. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you read behind the question, if you knew you were God, you would say, well, I'm just not coming back on Earth. I'm in control. Even if you don't say the word God, I'm in control of self. That means you must believe, just by saying that, somebody's putting you here. That's that complex we have that white people put in our head through mind control, that they're sinister. And there's a sinister, evil, invisible hand always working. And to an extent it is. But then there are people who make that incredibly large for you to have that same mentality during your spirituality. How do we make this lifetime our last experience on Earth? Just don't come back. How do you make this the last time you fuck that ugly girl from school? You just stop fucking her, son. Would you think about that? Would you ask me that? How do I stop fucking this girl, Panic? you would be like, nigga, that's such a stupid thing because I just stop because I know what to do. So you have to get to a point in your study, in your spirituality, where you feel you know what to do. How do I not come back? Because I just ain't coming back. How you not coming back? Because you said you're not coming back. The first thing you need to understand is your mind is in control of it all. You got to understand the stuff I've been teaching for years. Bobby's been teaching, Brother Phil, about going, and others, many others, about going into self, going into the darkness, going within. So when you die, you have no body. So the darkness represent that which is within yourself. And then with KL, I did that meditation that night. That's what we were talking about that I forgot. And then I seen a little golden light, and I knew that was him. If you walk towards the light, you walk towards the operating room, a birthing room again. You don't want to walk towards the light. You want to walk towards the darkness, which was within. And I found KL to come with me. And then I met him up with my boy Lou. Lou said, I got him. Then I went to sleep. Then he came back doing excited. Yo, I didn't know we were Egyptian. You know, he wasn't conscious of nothing. I didn't know we was Egyptian, man. I said, yeah, nigga. He said, yo, Lou is showing me all of this, and there's still this. He thought life was over, like any other human. And he seen there was more to it. But usually, the average human would have to struggle in the astral world, because the astral world is a part of this. Listen closely. What I found out, and I'm remembering this now, like as I'm telling stories, I remember the wisdom from it, that those who have helped spirits, when they die, the spirits are there for them. So remember, Lou was there for KL because Lou named the group Screwball. And while we were filming, laying next to all the girls, Screwball, 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 Lou said it woke him up. Because when he got shot at 23 with green eyes, the whole hood is a shame. And he had green eyes. You know how many girls he would have got? He said all that was a magnetic pull that kept him in the astral world. He said he was like a law. There's a real saga of the Lost Boy where they can't move on and they can't come back. The soul is there. So they're like